gmail.com and so I say bora ho na che say in sema e koso wi asafa na nyina ubehu akan na che say wonya interase e wo modern so bora myactiveonline.com www.myactiveonline.com na yentwe enkomo and anope Clement, good morning.
Good morning.
Na pomo
Ajeni boko.
na then e koso Ghana.
Dawa woni. They are changing the way they are better as
okay. In some of the teacher unions and obone abang labor Ministry of Labor any other ministries, National Security Minister was there, even the Finance Minister was around. Omukushia said ombeye meeting at train komo afa a year cost of living allowance at Chester teachers a day aqua strike, ombeka hwasem. Then so ndra omura meeting in 5 minutes later and our teacher unions in a PFE meeting I say adentia almost say abang omabeshe meeting as an abang say omun call it off strike now and my negotiations but teachers said na be like omuntia say na enye sa and abang catch omo embro ba meeting ni monti and they had to walk out of the meeting. Yene teacher unions no be ebe kasa yen producers try hard say once abe come na you don't matter train kobo na the problem is that another problem about this Ghana Medical Association doctors in Kabom Kuno almost some of the about say cola no 20% cola no almost almost GB it's almost some year almost some declare strike lorry fares they are about to increase it again GPRT and other transport operators, private transport operators aka ehwasem aboy amayen ehho into ho kakrebi say womo ebetutu lorry fare mo enti pacho sisi ho ema say lorry fare increment ya be because ubeja to say fuel prices in there assign akosro epa ena amanebo kese wo ho say electoral commission say use 80 million US dollars at the new voter register. Just say about homa home instance also about a minority leader Haruna Ijisu and a ball amanie our parliament just say a electoral commission 2 years a year register I had to about in the 2020 election was almost ambeyebium na I don't know you be use Ghana card pay as an idea ebema wudin akọ register no mu na no ebe costing about $80 million and won some so ye be hwe anope na ye bisa say aso ye wo $80 million aye de be ye voter register emra teachers e was strike emra Ghana Medical Association e was strike emra eye PSWU for strike eye public sector workers union so e was strike emra school feeding program no and also as about asem eduane to be call in secondary schools on time just say NABCO yentua NABCO for year national service also almost salary and also allowances and back in term at the time our economy no so just say odwen ho a won tiase no aban and as electoral commission per se wo year voters register I be costing $80 million US dollars in some way na be hwe ebe hwe aka anope e wo morning show no so enti pacho enko be bia ye na ne ho abansia Okay, welcome back, Clement. And our teachers, teachers, na was strike no. Nagrat, Nat, CCTGH and Atew and Omukushia by na meeting no Uncle Ripe working out of the meeting out almost say Abai say they have to call off the strike before they are able to negotiate. Also want to mean yes, negotiate. Let us have then I'll call off the strike. About paid informants and I say one more about negotiating table no one more ejina muma about no such as say the law states that you can't negotiate under duress, so they can only negotiate with teacher unions no unless they have called off the strike. It is here no still the strike is on.
I will say the idea children time be aje ni meya na osia the idea nemu. Strike and cause a whole lot. Great effect, negative effect. Your friends say in school so and I said the whole education system. So, but at the end of the day, we have to also think about the teachers because, like I always say, they are the heart of the whole education system. And so we be able to make then government should be careful how it is dealing with the teachers. And you say, you can several times, and any news. Me, I'm not surprised because. Whatever our teacher for no grievances be whatever they are looking for piano, we are dealing or we are staying with a government who doesn't listen. This particular government is not a listening government. Se ko ba no sana adibia obi piano ono no emfa no. You have no bampe you got in our platform kese so ka say or experts every field. Into whatever their grievances be and it means he doesn't care. Wasan ka che omo so say okay, idea omo doctors there and maybe he will pay attention to them. So putting all these things together. And the interim can say the change anymore because you can't teach for the ABBA, so you are then quoting the law, you are quoting the constitution by telling them say in the midst of these problems, and unless they call off the strike and sana move to me Atenase higher negotiations and then I was expecting government to know better. So this is where the hypocrisy comes in. Because government knows in every spending bill it has to pass through procurement process. It has to pass through the parliament for approval before saying Kaban be to me higher purchase and answer Aban be to me issue of my seeker. But this is the case Aban issue of my seeker or can't do. And one is about any day is our bush can no issue, and one so then is our bush can no issue. So, if on that case, you the president, and I say you the people in authority, more in power now, more to make a you don't go by what the constitution says, and I say what the law says. Now the Mupibia and Mobaya, you call it off a route or you tremono. Does it? They did pass through parliament? No. About issue even with. The national cathedral issue, about issue of mine, they did pass through a parliament or any procurement process. No. And once about issues can say, meanwhile, the same constitution now, about any so say teacher phone to me, or say teacher for back of the strike before so meet me negotiations. It's the same constitution that says he say all spendings, and I say, or mine is in a be so pass it through the constitution. But about no issue she can without passing through the constitution there. Sure. Then teachers also have the right to go on the demonstration without reading the law, and I say without even minding the law. So the idea change the idea anymore. Kaya and what the constitution says, that is what government and I say people in authority go by. And yes, of course, and they can force the teachers to go by what the constitution says. But at the end of the day, you don't care about what the constitution says. You don't respect the law. And no answer more so teacher for instance will follow suit. So on this note, I agree with the teachers 100%. Like I always say, they should go on strike. They should go on or more strike. But
the law is clear. The law is saying that we don't negotiate under duress.
That is why I'm saying, say, do the change you anymore. Is it not the same law? And I say before any purchase. Or mine seeker how I be issuing now, it should pass through parliament. It should pass through procurement processes. How many times in Abanya you see Skawahanoma and pass it through procurement and answer and pass it through parliament? How many times? And I'm the road, your council route to a example. Did they pass through parliament? No. Abanya spendings are all, does it pass through procurement processes? No. And once you spend this kind of say, you can't the purchase of the Christmas tree. Did they pass through procurement process? No. It is a way you now pass it through the procurement processes and ask the parliament for approval. Now, why I say teacher for the idea you should pass through the same process? No, Anka wona udi animuno. Per one who said there is a law, there is a constitution that says this. Anka wona udi big can't hear Juma. It would hear Jumano. Then your subordinates and I say your followers, then you can make sure say they also go by what the law says. But who know the can farm running you don't respect the law. How then do you expect the other teachers and I say other firms other entities to respect the law? No. Already boom run so that people in parliament boom run so that. So teacher for boom run so it's no news. It's allowed to so be boom run so except when they decide to do the right thing. By say anyhow, we are on best spend or money it should pass through the procurement processes. Whatever there was a parliament, the answer should pass through parliament. Then you can quote these laws and answer these articles to the teachers for them to also obey. But you are not going by the law, you are not going by what the constitution says. And I hope a teacher for whom go by the constitution. Meanwhile, whether you are the president, you are the minister, whoever you are the chief justice, whatever position you occupy in this country, you are not bigger than the law. And if you see yourself to be president, to be whoever, and I say, or how do you expect the teacher to also respect the same law? It won't hold. If they also as president, no more in authority, nobody can respect him, so that followers and so respect him. And once you have issue, share Auditor General report about Bonting. When they pass through the procurement processes, ECG, so sourcing, they pass through parliament? No. And once or more government spending, does it pass through procurement processes? Does it pass through parliament for approval? No. And once and the teacher for the inquiry, it should pass through. They should go by using the constitution or what the law says. It doesn't go. It doesn't make sense. You get it? It think I wanna go by the law.
Now clearly, doesn't mean say our schools should be closed because already, especially with those at the SHS level, because most of their teachers now are part of NAGRAT. NAGRAT 2 is on strike, and TEU also was strike. NAGRAT and TEU normally works at the SHS, SHS level. Doesn't mean that we should close the schools now.
It is better we close the schools for one whole year and fix the systems. Make sure things are made proper, things are well arranged. Than to be in the system for 2,000 years with no proper arrangements. You get it? Yenya time ni yenya adi ni ye. Na fi adi no so mran fa so na system no nya adwuma. Dan say ye be hwiagum sa ne ane na musa wa abra nya adwuma. So schools no it should be closed. Schools should be closed. The fix systems the cost of living allowances, textbooks, better curriculum. We provide idea bia has to do with education biano. Close schools so fix it. Then we can come back. By then only system is not here, so everything will be working smoothly for us. Dan see a big jano basa say ya then in the muna to apete na ye when nyansa bi en free mumba na ye no nwan sa na ye de kosa na mfa so bi en free mumba. This has been the system you're running over the years, and it produces a whole lot of armed robbers. It produces a whole lot of people or more customers in society. Because at the end of the day, say you inclusive schools, and I say you inclusive schools, and you fix here. Now, the free education by proper measures being the issue, and I say free education but to wonder. Started free education to almost talk in 1994 almost started free education 2003 almost my IS system ne better sama enra na me bo about school feeding where omudi sikaki to ebi abano enter into planting for food and agriculture na ye concept to kroma no Rwandan government enter odua nuane enya nuane the school feeding uhwe akora primary school ni akora Rwanda uhwe aduane esi na nim school feeding na o de bag na how you say 1 nipa be 10 dey betumi edi aduane no because want make system no better. You get it? So that is what we have to do. Let's close the schools if possible. Near fix the system no. And then we come back to the schools. And yes, I know we won't make sense. And enipa bebre na eko school no textbooks atmosphere no kra no environment na ye disua de no enye papa no ICT labs no computers most schools kra ni electricity ebi mu ni nsuo ebi mu ni nkonyo omotete so enkola da so ti niase ene efom eda so esua de you get it enti sa na ma we nyina e wo honom ena free education is over na ya ka obi agum nobody is saying say free education ya ka obi agum so obi an ko school ni bi no textbooks no better curriculum any edico school so ube school no now in quote now why useless because school now for you know you pass through the system instead of the system passing through you so that it will leave a trace in you, know? You rather pass through the system without leaving any trace now ube you know now life I ever so we are producing a whole lot of people into the society ena ema omo enter into unnecessary things and akora 17 years no we hu sika se me kwa akodiska do me kwa akopesa kawa all those kind of things because of the system I am building. So if we can close down the schools and make sure say we sit down and address the things well, you find one after the other, you find we need you pay attention to teachers. You're making sure say your curriculum a year juma. You're making sure say there are enough textbooks. Not even enough. There are well enough textbooks because there can be enough textbooks, but then in any rubbish. So we have well designed textbooks. IDBC system, no, and then we make sure say the environment are serene for learning and teaching. Then we can come back and say yes, of course we are making sense to better the education system. But if teachers should call off the strike, and they should go back to their classroom, it is not going to change anything.
But do you think, say, education minister and any deputies, no, they have come short when it comes to handling education matters?
They are all whack. They are all whack from the president because he appointed the education minister. I didn't appoint the education minister. I didn't vote for the education minister to become the minister. You get it? The president, the education, the president, the education minister, the director of education, they are all whack. They don't know what they are doing as far as education is concerned. What the system we know, we have a whole education minister who is having PhD in education policy. And luckily enough, when our education minister, so what are the policies? Who PhD in Equitao as education minister, who PhD now because of policies in education now they have PhD. PhD is not any mere certificate. So if you are having a PhD in education policy, what are the policies as a minister or the share education system? Then it is better say I do say I do to better answer as education minister. Now 1 year she within the PhD in education policy, no, and you can cover fit any be a would be the no better answer as education minister. And only the able to me I say, oh, Nipa I did not transfer so we for education and I was saying, but when we have somebody I will believe say or you're competent with all these certificates. Now there are no proper policies. Are you making sense in our education system? Then they are all failure. They are all whack. And mind you, I'm including the president because I'm the education minister and better now. Or then as education minister. What you say? And then you come back to Honorable Kwaku Pukwama, the director of
GS, Professor.
There are no proper measures. And answer as ministers.
But the question I have say, why do government wait? When the signs are clear, with the teachers' name warnings, say we need this, so we'll go on strike. Will declare. Then they will almost they will sit aloof, strike, almost declare strike action, but then we call them for negotiation.
Entities we know abandon respective promo. First one, education sector, abandon farm. We expect to be a will be a unyansen be officer will be a abandon so will be. And Andra has say. Two can never work together unless they agree. Me no me no agye me ntumi metena ha se ba ba be din komo wa bra yenim de ba ba ye yentumi nante se ye kwa ha wa bra yeni one go esa na we will be splitted obi abefa because me no nya adwen I can work with you. You get it? Nti because omampanyin the ideologies is the same as the education minister. And if we say, oh, you'll be so big to me, they can liaise, they can think together. It's not fun, they say, or measure the whole education system. So president didn't just appoint anybody or appoint you be free say according to ono omampanyin no nipa na oba be minister no obetumi aye adwuma ne said ono omampanyin ne pe. So all these years education minister na wo a serve in the country na no na adwuma eso omampanyin ani. The way omampanyin person run the education system na sa na all running no. That is why, because agent meme or man am appointed was minister. Now said the way I'm a permanent man and yes, I know then some fast when they say I will just take you off and bring somebody else. But because the Juma and the so man penny or man penny who said Juma no pepe, so the other sharing Sana or no. That is why I still know or as the education minister. So two can never work unless they agree.
Okay, mefa abani bowe arehosem ento anasema ahwefo MC awo bibieni ariaso bekwai municipal assembly chese onyakwinhia ndra na wofim onene driver nyina na yeso wonam kwanso tipa truck bi trailer bi elusu control na odeko run kemu enti chese waye nyamedia Honorable Alfred Amwa, our MC for Bibieni Arianso Bekwai Municipal Assembly. On any driver, Samuel JC, Omunina, Jesse, Owu, Eshumofi Assassin, so, and Dra area, Ewo Bibieni area mo, Ewo Ti Amaneboa, Ewo and Anopi, your bomb pipes and Yankopon Yomokra. ABC,
very sad.
Very sad.
Very sad.
And we share social media discussion on say he was one of the finest MCs.
Very sad.
Ewo and Nanado Abemo. So Amaneboa Ewo Hon.
Wankasa de yade about hadri a swing good move, but you very wish the entire nation in because once a year MCU baby it means he's serving the country in a whole. So you very wish baby and the entire country, the families condolence and come Ghana for I think
okay.
You can't say I'm in funny cry
okay. Another Arewasema Eba, but we are yet to confirm unconfirmed reports. Just a high life legend, A.B. Crenshaw, with him. That is the unconfirmed reporter. Inya